Alrighty, right there. It's been a long, long 10 hours. Um, so, where are we? I have crafted a beautiful, beautiful Axios component that is reusable after 10 hours. um, so, all right, let's get into what I have been working on. So if you're just catching up, I needed to make API requests. I needed to make requests to an API, which is basically our backend for the for the portfolio site. I wanted to embrace React's reusability in regards to the components. So I wanted to create, and I wanted to challenge myself to create basically a component that has Axios in it that makes requests, a request to a specific endpoint that's passed in as a prop to that component. It then returns a loading screen while the state is still loading, while it's still fetching the data. Once it's then fetched the data, it will then load the component that we actually initially passed in, and then the data is then displayed. So what do I mean by that? So if I go to portfolio, mind you, no styling has been completed. If I go to portfolio, here we can see we have our portfolio items here. And to show you, where we got? What did I call this one? I think it was, let's have a look, portfolio projects. So if we have a look here, we're just going to portfolio projects like so. We can see that our front end is retrieving these projects and displaying them. Let's get rid of that. So cool. All right, so that's one. So that's our portfolio. So that's the portfolio. Now to do the blog posts. So if I do Python -lists and yep, boom. What's going on here? Google Analytics timed out. Yeah, everything's working. Come on. There we go. Something's going on with Google Analytics there. And there we go. I'm not sure what the goal was there. So basically, as you can see, we have a load screen that is the same for both pages, the portfolio and this one. So if I load, you can see the load screen there. So basically while it's making the fetch, Axios is making the get request, it displays the loading. When the loading is finished and when the loading is finished, it will then set the state to false as it's not loading, and then it'll load the component passed in. So I'll actually show you the code, show you what we've got going on here. All right, so we have our Axios 2 component here, which you can see there. We're bringing in the Axios 2 component, which handles the loading screen and all the rest of it, and the requests. So what we need to do then is pass in the component that we would like it to map the data to. So here I'm bringing in portfolio and blog posts. So I come down here and we've got the path matching to portfolio with an exact path. and I want to pass in the component. So what I'm passing in is a arrow function here. We're passing, we're bringing in the component here, Axios2. We're setting the endpoint that we want Axios to send the GET request to, which is the portfolio.projects of our API. And then we're sending in the components that we want the data to map to, which is portfolio. Same thing for the blog posts, but a little bit different where the URL is dynamically generated and but basically the same thing, except for we're sending in match as well. So we can match the URL that is typed into the browser to a URL, or sorry, check if that URL that was typed into the browser is within the blog posts, the slug. So it checks the slug. If it is, it would then render the blog post itself. If not, it would then render a 404 page and return. that. So yeah, so that's this code here. So if I go to Axios2, it looks so simple, but I went through a bit of a thing where for myself, I don't know, the way that I've always learned to code is pretty much brute force. Try. What about if I try this? What about if I try this? Getting into this sort of stuff, I'm feeling is a bit of a primitive approach to doing this. I feel that what I should do, and I said this in one of the first videos, is that I realized why I was learning JavaScript and React so slowly was because I wasn't doing what I was doing in Python, which I was actually physically writing the code instead of copy and pasting everything in. So I feel that moving forward, a different approach is going to be, all right, what do we want to do? So we want to, have a component that takes in a component that makes, an Axios GET request and all the rest of it, and all these little different parts. So map all that out and then go and actually research each individual component. And then once I have completed that, then put it together and try and brute force it. Because by the end of it today, I was like, I need to figure out how use effect works properly, understand it. But anyway, so because I had infinite loops of console.logs and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, so let's go through the code. So straight up, we're importing Axios, use state, use effect, and our actual load screen component. Our load screen component is, actually, I'll show you that in a sec. It's just a spinner. Oh, that thing that I showed you, the blocks. So we've got, so we're defining our function here for our component. So we have Axios2, which is taking in the props that we passed in our index. So we have endpoint, component. So what endpoint do we want to call? What component are we mapping everything to? And then any additional props that may be that we're passing in. So what I'm doing here is pretty much similar to what I was just doing on index.js, but I'm saving it to an API loading. So basically, the API load screen is taking in the component, and then we're going to render the component once the API load screen, once loading is false. So we're setting it to API loading. We're setting our state. So obviously is loading. Initially it would be true. The API data will be null to begin with until we fetch the data. And then the endpoint is what endpoint we would like to query. And the endpoint is being passed through the props. So we're starting an instance, so we're creating an instance. This base URL is hard coded. I actually will be making this a prop as well that we can just pass in and then have a default value, which will default back to this URL here. But that way I can make different requests, different servers, basically. So it's a fully reusable component. Timeout, same thing with headers. We can pass the headers in as well. But we'd probably create another file and then bring that file in and pass that in, something along those lines for the headers, because it'll be crazy. We might even have like a config file that we pass in instead as the props. Anyway, so headers, then we're going to use effects. So basically you're going to make the get request, and that get request is going to be our endpoint from our state. We're then going to do a then promise, and then we're going to set the state. Once we fetch the response back, we're going to pass response into this promise here. We're going to then set the state. This was a big thing that I got mixed up, or not mixed up, but I couldn't figure out, that kept causing a lot of issues, was how to assign a key value pair in an object that's the state. So every time I would assign like API data and is loading, it would like rewrite the entire state object. And I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Like it would show up and then it would be like undefined, because I was doing like console.logs. So it'd make like the first request and everything was there. And then when I actually got down to the component that I'm mapping everything to, it was all undefined and I had no idea what the hell was going on. But anyway, it's what this does is basically any value. So you got all of we've got our object here, our state object. So basically any object that we don't define a new value for, it would just basically bring in the old state, put anything that we didn't set a new value for in the new state that we're setting, and then just add on or set these values for the things that we're actually going to change. So effectively, we've got our object with all the properties that we don't want to change still at the default values, or the values that they were, and then just changing the values that we want to change. This was a massive clusterfuck. But anyway, got it. We then we don't need to return this. That's not necessary anymore. Just to make sure I don't screw this up. That was for something else. So yeah, so that's that. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit while we're here. Oops. Like so. Bring this up like so. Yeah, something like that. It's fine. So yeah, now every time that this use effect hook gets called, or whatever you want to say, renders, whatever, we're not passing our set state in, because I don't want to reload that I believe it's like you reload or you re-render that again. So I just want to just do it like this with nothing passed in. I need to do a little bit more research. I only got about a quarter way through the video, and he basically said, yeah, take all the stuff out of here and then it'll only reload it like one, or on the initial time. And I was like, and I did that and it worked, and I was stopped there. So I need to keep going on with that anyway. So once we get all of our data, the promise has been fulfilled, and we've got all our data, our app state is all set. We're then going to return our well, say, our component, our API loading screen with our dynamic component passed in, which is here. We're then bringing in all our props from our app state. Here, we need to wrap this in basically like a parent element, I think they call it. You could use a div just using a React fragment here. And you might also see React fragments like that. That's just shorthand for React fragment. So that returns without any errors, and then we're obviously exporting Axios2. So now that we got all that sorted, if we head over to, where is it? Head over to our load screen. So here we've got our load screen. It's just the box that moves. This one. Save. No, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. You get the idea. It's the box that moves. So this renders that. So basically, we're passing the props through, or the component through here. We're doing our styles for our styling. Then we're returning a function, which is the what do we got here? Return function, the API load screen, which takes in is loading and the other props, and then if is loading, if it's not loading, so if the state here, the prop passed in, if this is false, it's going to return our component, which is the component we passed in, and along with all the other props. So this is basically bundling up or unpacking all the props. I think it was bundling it up. I have to check on a little bit more on that. But if it's not, so if it still is loading, the state is still loading, it will return basically our load screen. So now that's so then we head over to our portfolio. So head over to the portfolio. What I've got here is obviously the portfolio component, the function. We're passing in API data, which is from the ... props. It's the only prop left to pass down. So we're then adding our styles, and then we're returning a container. We've got our meta tags in there that are already filled out. We then create within that container, we then create a grid container, and then we map all of the data in API, we map all of the objects in API data. We pass API data in, and then we have access to our projects, or all the objects properties here. And then, so, if this has 5 objects in an array, it will basically display 5 cards, and all of these variables, or all these ones here will then be dynamically inserted based on what object it's up to in the map function. So it's basically unpacking all of the objects out of the array and then putting all that data into the cards. So that was an absolute painful thing to go through, but I'm through it now, and I have a better understanding of all these bits and pieces. So so that's that. And then go to blog posts. So blog posts is a little bit different. Blog posts, we pass down match as well through the loading screen into blog posts, which you can see there. Now I did a different technique to search through the array of objects to see if that specific slug, if a specific object has that particular URL that the user typed in into the address bar, and we're utilizing this sum method. So basically, all I'm saying is that if no object is equal to the URL that the user typed in, return basically return the 404 page or this 404 page within this component. Else return this. Now I'm going to change this one and just make a 404 component, so that way I can use it in this posts component, and also to make it sort of like a catch-all, because we had that issue where, if anyone types in anything else, it's just going to load a blank page. So we want a 404 to display, which is pretty much the catch-all, which is pretty straightforward, that one, I believe. So yeah, so that's all that, what I've been up to. Now, bring on my list. So we've added the blog post projects, multiple images, figured that out. Create dynamic routing, got the load screen components all sorted now. So basically, we're just going to create the portfolio, the blog page, do the styling for that, and then do our 404 page. Basically, do the global one and then insert it into the dynamic blog post component. And lastly, I just need to I either need to re-add an image field to the blog post model and the portfolio model as sort of like a thumbnail for them, or I need to make a separate request and fetch the images, which I think the thumbnail is going to be the better way to handle that. That way, we're not loading in an entire list of blog posts, and then I have to match which images go to what. It can just be the one page, which will just be the blog post, or the portfolio project, and then have the images. I only need to do. I know which one I need to get, which I feel that would be a better design. But yeah, so straight up, I'm just going to create this 404 page, get that out of the way. So what we'll do is go to global and add a new one. So we'll do can you start these with numbers? 404 not found. Yep. .js. Yes, you can. So we're going to bring in React. So import React from React, like so. Actually, I'm just going to be easier just to do. Do this. It's pretty much everything that we need. Or a few more, which would probably be topography, make styles, So we'll start off with our style. So const use style. Let's move this back. Const use style. Use styles. Equals make styles, which takes in theme. Theme. Look at me getting all fancy. So next we need to actually bring in our or create our function for this component. So I don't know what the word is for that. Like, I guess what I just said, the function for this component, but I don't know the specific term for it. So what we want to do is do 404 not found. I don't think you can do this. No, you can't. This is no, you can't start with a number. So we're just doing not found 404 like that. Might change this as well. Cool. Yep, happy with all that. So then we're going to pass in. No, we're not going to pass in anything. We're going to create an arrow function. Then we're going to, we'll need to make our class const classes equals use styles like so. Then we need to return whatever we're returning, and we need to export defaults. I think that's fine. Exports default. Export default. Not found 404. 404. Beautiful. So first up, we're going to bring a container. Do I need to add a React fragment for a container? Or can be the container be the parent element? Let's have a look. Container, and we want to give this an attribute of max width equals, and feel free to comment if I am calling this stuff the wrong thing. Container max width equals extra large. Cool. Does it give us a complaint? Nope. Container can be the parent element. Awesome. So next we want to bring in grid container. Give a spacing of 2, like so. And then our grid item. And give a excess of equal to 12. Just trying to think how I was going to lay that out then. So, and here we want to align align equals center. I think that was the way we did it. Let's have a look. Topography. I mean, it's variant is equal to h2 component is equal to h1. No, let's make it too for now. So it's too big. Boom. That can be a. Oh no, that's fine. Now magical boy. Oh, right, cool. So let's have a look and see what this looks like. So if we go to blog posts, we can. I'm just going to copy this meta tags. Just do it exactly the same. I'm going to put this at the top of our container like so. Save that. Head back to our blog posts. We're going to import not found 404 from stack pages. No, it's global. Close that off. And then I can bring this in. We can skip the div and do a React fragment. Like so, and then we can bring in our nuts down 404. And that could be self-closing. Save. Cool. Let's have a look. Make styles is not defined. It must be make make style. No, we covered that. Spelling right? Yeah. Save. So we just copied that over. Yeah, make styles. Use styles equals make styles. Oh. Oh, it's close. So it's make styles. Damn it. It's close. Two curly parentheses. So let's do our blog post. Let's get partner lists. Is it tab? Does this? So that works. And then if we do this, hoi, we get our components. Beautiful. Let's go back to log. Yep. So why is that happening? That wasn't a result that I expected. So even though that this is like that, it's still triggering a get all. That's okay. I think I know why. No, I know why. That's we already said that. Sorry, getting confused. So index. So I'm happy with that. So let's create the route for this. So if I go to index.js, if I can find it, and create a, or we need to bring in 404, which can just bring which no, I can't. It's not the same folder. Imports not found 404 from boom components. It was a global. So we can bring that in. Routes where path is equal to, what are you doing? Route path is equal to, now I think it was I think it was star. I think it was. Change this to double quotes. Yeah, I think it was a star. Here, let's have a look. Routes to URL for 404 page. React. Header for React. Da 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 da. Route. I don't think that should work, should it? Or it'll try and match anyone that's already there. So if we do try that. Did you have a path? No, they just had a component. So if we do, okay, let's try this. Component is equal to not found 404. Save that. Oh, I'm going to close that off. Self-closing. Save that. Let that compile. Cool. Well, we don't have a blog yet. Blog post, blog. So that's right. No, that's not right because the load screen shouldn't pop up. And you can see the load screen there. That worked. But anything with the anything with that is not working. If we take the exact off, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's all going to the same spot, which is the 404. But it wasn't what I was expecting to happen. Did the same thing. Yeah, it's all doing it through that now. The one that I saw, it was like a star or something. Yeah, it was a star, exact. Equals to. If you want to display for keep the path, star, exact, as path equal to, oops, path equal to star. Exact component. Save that, let that compile, see if this works. Just going to drop the bit rate a smidge because we're chopping out a little bit here. Cool. So, did this work? Boom. That worked. Yep. Nope, still not working. That's all right. It's still doing what I wanted to do, was just go to 404. But it's just a shame. I'm not sure how to get away with that. I'm not sure. Was it appending the? So anything after that, it doesn't do it. Which is to be expected. That's all right. It's doing what I wanted to do anyway. I don't think you'll be able to do it that, but it sort of makes it, doesn't feel like it's complete when it doesn't do the loading screen on the other one. But as I said, it's doing what I want it to do. So let's just do a quick commit. So git commit dash m added a 404 page component. Oops. I have set up the routing for the 404 component. What else did we do? We made a small change to the Axios 2 component. Made a small change to the do by removing a return statement. That's not being used. Oops. I think you could just escape that with a backslash. Cool. And then we can git push. Cool. All right, so let's start our server back up and head back over to the 404. Happy with all of that. Oh, did it render in the middle? Yeah, it did. Cool. So I just want to add some padding. I'll probably want to bring in an image. Bring in an image. Let's try free stock images. Slash 404. Maybe let's do free funny 404 error pages. That's funny. I like that one. Oh, come on, let's get a funny one. Think of this one. Let's just do that one. Download. Free download, please. So we're gonna copy this. Sorry, go back. Download. Just gonna paste this in, see what the hell. Page. I'm just gonna stick this in here. Save that. So this wants a. That's not cool. Screw that. I don't want to do that. Let's just go free row for image. Oh, it's the same junky site. Not junky, but only gotta do bullshit with. It's funny that one. Come on, just pick a damn one. Let's just do that one. I don't want to register. I don't want to get your spam. God damn it. No, I don't want to grab your crap. Extract. Okay. I don't want to buy your stuff either. Where did that extract to? Let's do pictures. Go away. And let's get the 404 out. And let's bring in the image. Does material UI have a component for this? Or just bring in the image? Box grid. Doesn't look like it, but we can just put a card item. Sorry, not a card item, a grid item, and then just put the image inside that. So we can do grid, grid item. We'll probably swap these around. XS equals 12. That, and then I can do img, so c equals, we can bring our image into our public folder here, features, there it is, like that, and yeah, and hold on, that wasn't the right image. I didn't even give us the damn image. Oh my god. Yeah, I thought I hadn't downloaded it. I don't want to buy you junk. Which one did we decide on? It was this one. Oh my god, you got credit as well. This is painful. Anyway, I do. I'm going to use this for now as a placeholder, and then I can change it later. So we got image source. We're going to copy. Copy path. I'm going to paste the path in. And get rid of all this junk. Do that. Save that. And I don't get what we expected. Why is that? Because that path can't be found. Um, go out of that one. What's absolute path? How to access this one's going to be the winner. Unexpected token, expected. Da, 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 da. because it's trying to bring in a node module. Oh, there it is. All right, so it did go out of control, which is fine. Get rid of this junk. Let's add a class. Equals image not there, this one. And we want to give a max width to 100 and a max and we got an error. What's going on? Const use styles equals make styles, boom boom theme, boom arrow function, and I'm missing. There we go. Cool. A little bit bigger. And as I said, I'm going to bring this item like that. So get some padding. Cool. Because you're looking for not exist. Select this. Oh, wait, the page you're looking for does not exist. It's a 3. Cool. And you're going to use some padding to the bottom. And we're going to give a class to this one here. Bottom. Like so. Cool. Awesome. And just for the sake of just going to get this and copy that. And I'll change this later. I'll just put this here now. Awesome. We got a 404 page. So let's commit this. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure it's good. Container grid. Happy with all that. We're using everything. Awesome. Cool. Yes. Git add all. Git commit -m added. Layouts for the page. Add a heading and some text along with a free image. Cool. And we'll push that. We're gonna quickly take this one off the list. And we've done that as well. Cool, so up the portfolio and a blog page. Let's close this. All right. Portfolio and blog page. I'm gonna start with portfolio first. Which I've already pretty much I've got the bare bones for. Meta description. The meta description was working on a 404. Yep, 404 found. That's cool. So we're mapping the data into cards. So we're gonna need to add some styling to these cards. How do I want to display these? I want to use some of these, probably the badge. Badge. No, it was the chips. What a cool name. Yeah, chips. Oh, we can delete them, check them, all sorts of stuff. Whoa, look at that. Maybe that might be good because that's gonna be jam packed in there. But I can display them in the modal that'll pop up if I wanted to do the modal. Just thinking, what's the best way going to do this? I think maybe have them as their own page and then have like a back to projects button at the bottom. I think that would be a good idea. So it'll be cards for now. card. Thinking just a card will be sufficient. And then we can hit the learn more and we're out to its page. Well, there'll be a component that everything will be dynamically brought in, which I'm happy with that. So could always have a modal where sort of just gives you like a brief overview, and then you can go on the project and it goes into a bit more detail. That could be a thing. But I think I might stick with this the card for now. So what do I need to do? We've pretty much got everything here, to be honest. We've got our container, we got our meta tags, we got our grid container, mapping all the data, we've got our key. We want to do that. We've got our card action area. So we need to bring in our media. Card media. Like so. And bring that over. We got that import, card media, yes. Now, don't have an image. Oh no, we do have an image for this. Or did I do it for both? Let's have a look. Blog model, blog post image. So we've still got an image there. I think it was just for the portfolio projects. Models. Yeah, I'm going to add an image, so it'll be a thumbnail. Close this server. And we're going to do project thumbnail. Now is equal to our image field. Copy like so. And just looking at this structure. You have like do a dynamic route or dynamically generate folders if they don't exist, so it's not all just like jammed into one folder. That the folder will be the folder will be well, I suppose it doesn't matter because we're just going to do it by the foreign key. I'll play around with that later. So a file field, I'm just going to image field. I'm going to upload the same place. Thumbnail. Cool. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to migrate. Hold on. Going to, I might as well just copy this whole thing here. Copy. And go to our model. Like so. Paste that in. And then we can do our blog post. Blog post images. And this one will be blog posts, cascades, and this needs to be blog post image. That one's images. Why is that doing like that? Yeah, that's how it should be. Blog post image, upload it to there, cascade, blog posts. And I'm going to do a blog post thumbnail. Save that. Change this. Yeah, that's it. So they're all saved. It's going to migrate. Python manage.py. Make migrations. Yes, put that one off, please. What's this for? The thumbnail. It's going to be an image, so it's not going to probably work. Cool. And then run our server. All right, let's have a quick look at this. We need to register for blog posts. And I forgot to change the meta. Cool. All right, so we have our portfolio projects. Go light me up. Go to URL. What one was this? Light me up. So I can come have a look over here. Go to pictures, screenshots, light me up. And that one's probably the best one that sums it up. Save that. And then notify me. Choose a folder. Save. So that was that, and then blog post. That was screenshots. And the last one I did, I believe. Save. Yep. Cool. So save that. Cool. So we've got our images there. So now we need to map those images to our front end. So what I want to do is do we're going to have to concatenate this. I'm thinking, look, console.log, and we'll do API data, and we'll just log the whole thing for now. We've got a bit of a situation here. Started. So what do we got? So we got 2, and I want to find out. Oh, we haven't connected that to the serializer. And it was so that was it. Just make sure. Yep, that should be good. Project thumbnail, project description is not valid for model portfolio projects. Field name. Field name, project. Oh, I think it might be in the serializer. Yeah. Okay, so it does give us the full URL. Awesome. So I can just basically do get rid of this and just do this, and then do API data dot what are we in portfolio, portfolio thumbnail. Save that. Failed prop type material either children image source or component prop must be specified. Oh, it's a project. Why is it not displaying? Undefined, eh? It's probably a spelling mistake. Oh, I know why that wasn't working. Because definitely works. API data dot API data dot project thumbnail. That is no difference to if I did this. API data. But why is this not working? Last time it was because I had spelled image wrong. Yeah, I think it was image wrong. I'm not sure why this is doing this. Because if we just do image, so C, pass this in. Should get a big ass image, and I do. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, that's happening. Yeah, that's right. Get rid of that console log. Save that again. Try and inspect this bad boy. Is it because it's got to be out of the action area? Nope. I know for a fact that that works. Just gonna add this line. That's fine. Oh, we've got to specify the height. So what's going on here? Yep, that's what was going on. Okay. So, got that sorted now. What else? They will obviously grow. They're up in the sky there. I'm not sure what's going on there. In the back end for one. I think I had this issue with any other component before, how it's like up in the header there, the menu. Let's give it some padding. Items. 4812. So right now there's only 2, so we're just gonna make it 6. No, definitely 4. All the padding's messed up. So the image is gone up into the damn thing. Because it doesn't look like that. Not sure why that's doing that. Maybe it's this overflow hidden. Nope. Having a lot of issues with this. I had a bit of issue with the flex working, or the items working. They were like in a row. Forgot exactly what I did to fix that. Maybe it's just space evenly. No. Could be just that the card's not big enough to display that image, perhaps. No, we changed the height. I changed the height. No, it's this one. We have to specify that. I think I can do max height. No, that definitely did not work. Maybe minimum height. No, that's definitely not it. I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm gonna space these evenly again. Space evenly. It was. Justify. How did they do it? Let's play with this. So it's not doing what I want it to do. So I've got my, where's the other program? I've got these two up. New window. Open folder. Guide me on front end. And it was in, it was API connection. Put it in a container, it's fine. And then map the data to the grid. Each item is a grid item, which contains a card. Each card has an image. That's because I took it out of the card action area. Get rid of that. There we go. Still not perfect though. So what else did I do on that other one? Set a max width. And I'm in height. That's for the root. And then I set the media height. So perhaps I just need to drop this down a bit. No. So just got all these properties. I'm going to pinch these. And that is the same for item, card, 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 card of item. image still pushes up into the top of that section. Something's stuffing up the styling. Card action area. Got the media. Typography for the content. Card action area. Go away. With the card. With the action area. And we have the card media. The card content. End of card content. Card action area. Card actions. We don't have any actions. Card grid. Is it this container that's screwing with me? I need to have a look at this. Because these render flawlessly. For example, no, I won't be able to because it's the backend's not running. He's only got a small one, 140. They were smaller. No, it doesn't matter. Like I shouldn't have to do padding. Top. Yes, it is. Like, why do I have to do that? I shouldn't have to do that. Why is it doing this? All right. All right, I'm gonna go play with this, and yeah, I hope this was enjoyable. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this and see if I can figure out what's going on with this, and I will be back. Happy coding.